living longer, living healthier, living better than ever before. Welcome to Mountain Pacific's Healthy Living for Life, a weekly series that gives you the information, education, and expert insight you need to become an active participant in today's ever-changing healthcare climate. Here now is today's program host.
First, the bad news. Lung cancer is the deadliest type of cancer among both men and women in the United States. In fact, 1 in every 4 cancer deaths is due to lung cancer. But the good news, tens of thousands of Americans beat lung cancer every year. Survival depends on several factors, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Healthy Living for Life, a show dedicated to helping you do just that. I'm your host, Beth Brown. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Joining us first this morning is Marsha Hamilton, who has been diagnosed with stage 4 or advanced lung cancer. And thanks so much for being here today, Marsha, and for being willing to share your story with us.
Thank you for asking.
So let's just start out by you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, happily. I grew up in Montana, and my husband and I, after we were married, went to school at the University of Montana and started a gymnastics club, which we ran for about 25 years. And then I went into teaching school. During my collegiate time, I was an All-American track and gymnast. So I had a lot of fun with both those sports and a lot of traveling.
Okay.
So that's,
and then elementary school.
Sorry, yeah,
right?
and then I went to teaching elementary school, and I did that for the last 24 years.
Okay. And so you're very athletic. You're into working out and being active. Have you ever smoked?
No, I've never smoked.
And so that's actually supposed to be a big cause for lung cancer.
Right.
And so it's crazy that you actually ended up being diagnosed. Can you talk a little bit about the symptoms that you were experiencing that now looking back you recognized, oh yeah, that was lung cancer?
You know, that's a really hard one because my symptoms involved a mild but persistent cough. And at the time I was teaching kindergarten, and most of my room had a little cough that kind of hung on. And even when I went to the doctor complaining about a cough and a shortness of breath, also I had swollen lymph nodes, they dismissed it and said, yeah, I've seen many patients today with these symptoms. Here's a Z-Pak, go home, you'll be better in 10 days. The other symptom I had, though, was a very significant shortness of breath when I was starting to try to mountain bike in the spring. And it wasn't just, oh, I'm not conditioned yet. It's, I literally can't get air into my lungs. So that was disturbing. So I ended up going back to the doctor again. And that's when I went to a different doctor, and he said, well, you know, we need to check go for a chest x-ray and see what's going on. And that's how it was found.
Okay. And then at what point were you diagnosed?
Right after that chest x-ray, the tumor was found in my left lung. The scary thing on this one is that the symptoms were very mild, and had I not been pretty physical and trying to exercise, I may not have even checked it then, because the cough wasn't much of anything.
So thank God you did.
Yes.
And then you found out what was really going on, and then there are different treatment options. How did you know which treatment option would be right for you in this instance?
So I was referred to an oncologist, and actually he's someone that my family was familiar with. His sons played soccer with my boys. I knew and trusted him and went with his opinion on what we should do. I also went to visit the MD Anderson Clinic in Houston and got a second opinion. That doctor concurred with my doctor, and so I've been following chemotherapy as well as immunotherapy treatment since diagnosis.
Okay, well, you look great.
Thank you.
How is treatment going?
Originally, my treatment went really well. After the first 3 months, my tumor had shrunk by 50%,
Awesome.
Which was excellent news. Since that time, I've seen a little bit of growth, and I had a recent scan in June that showed more growth. So we are now looking at the next plan, because chemo doesn't sometimes work forever. So we're looking at a new therapy, perhaps a targeted therapy that might fit a mutation in my type of cancer.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And so in addition to treatment, have you found other support systems or other things that have helped you in battling this lung cancer?
Mostly I'm going to say my friends and family have been incredible.
Good.
I had friends that stepped up right away and and my family, both my boys came home right away. My sister lives next door. My other sister is close as well. And with their support, my friends started a GoFundMe page to help me with some expenses.
Awesome.
And I've just had incredible friends and family.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
So, shifting gears a little bit, in the midst of everything, you've become the Montana 2019 Lung Force Hero. What does that mean?
So the American Cancer Society does a Lung Force Hero Day every year in DC, and one person from each state is selected. I was nominated through a friend and selected to go. So I had never been to DC or really been very politically active. So it was really incredible to get that experience and have firsthand experiences with our senators and our representatives to voice our concerns and ask for help.
Okay, and so that was going to be my next question. What exactly did you do there?
We were actually given the tasks that we were to ask for when we went there, and one was to advocate for increased funding to the National Health Institute for all cancers, which everyone was on board with, and we felt comfortable with that. The other things we asked for was to push for insurance companies to not disallow coverage for people with pre-existing conditions.
Okay, really good cause.
Yeah.
And did you feel like you were listened to, or how did it go?
Yes.
Awesome.
Both senators were fantastic and really listened to my story. And actually, I had a little insurance problem at one point where my insurance decided to deny coverage of treatment that I'd already been having. One senator said, contact me if you have that problem in the future, and we can step up and help. So I felt really well listened to and supported.
Good. So we're just about out of time, but I do want to ask you, it seems like your attitude is great. You're getting out there to be an advocate for others. What do you think it is that keeps you going?
I had a conversation with my sister on the way over. Every day is a treasure to me, a real treasure. I don't know how long I have to live. I'm hoping it's a nice long time, but I don't want to waste 1 minute worrying or being sad or depressed about what I have. I want to get the most out of what time I have now, and that's what I intend to do.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Marsha, you're great.
Thank
you
you
so much for being here.
Thank you.
We do need to take a break. But coming up next, we'll learn about what puts people at risk for lung cancer, the best ways to try to prevent it, symptoms to watch out for, and much, much more. Stay with us. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.